There were reports last week about the things that are happening in Turkana that anybody that loves devolution, Mr. Speaker, will be concerned about. I hope the County Assembly is doing something about it. And eventually, Mr. Speaker, those reports get to the Senate. Should any of the listed people be found culpable, Mr. Speaker, this House will do justice to the people of Turkana. I'm only saddened, Mr. Speaker, since their former Speaker was a very good friend of mine. We served with him in this House as members for the last 2 terms. Unfortunately, they seem to have fallen out with the Assembly and he's now out. But nonetheless, that is a power of the. I wish the new Speaker, who's part of the delegation, well. May he serve to the great goodness of the people of Turkana. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3 and 4.4, I received the following message. From the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025. The message, which is dated Monday, 14th April 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate the same date, and pursuant to the said Standing Order, and now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly standing orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025, was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 38 of the 12th of March 2025 to provide for the equitable division of revenue raised nationally between the national and county governments in the 2025-2026 financial year. And whereas the National Assembly considers the said bill and passed it without amendments on Wednesday, the 9th of April 2025, in the form attached here. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and standing orders for and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the bill to the Senate for consideration. Now, honorable senators, pursuant to Standing Order number 163, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading in accordance with Standing Order number 144. Honorable senators, as you may have noted, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025, has been listed in today's order paper, and at the appropriate time during this sitting, I will direct the clerk to read the bill a first time. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Senator for Nairobi, the Honorable Edwin Sifuna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a petition to the Senate of the Republic of Kenya regarding the eviction of Korogosho community living in the Nairobi River corridor after its declaration as a special planning area. Honorable Speaker, we, the undersigned, on behalf of the Korogosho community in Ruaraka constituency, being peace-loving and law-abiding citizens of the Republic of Kenya, and in exercise of our right under Article 119 of the Constitution of Kenya, which grants every person the right to petition Parliament on any matter within its authority, do hereby I humbly submit this petition to the Senate of the Republic of Kenya for consideration. That whereas the Korogosho Community Forum is a community-based organization operating within Korogosho location, Ruaraka constituency, Nairobi County, this petition is submitted to the Senate for consideration of the following grievances and requests. That on the 5th of March 2025, the Nairobi City County issued a notice in the local dailies declaring the Nairobi River corridor as a special planning area. This corridor spans the area along Nairobi River from Naivasha Road to Ruai, including the tributaries of the river. The notice declared that the corridor extends 60 meters beyond the high water mark on either side of the river, 30 meters riparian corridor, and an additional 30 meters development area. That the purpose of this petition is to draw the attention of the Senate to several grievances and concerns raised by the residents of Korogosho regarding the ongoing and planned activities related to the Nairobi River Corridor as declared as a special planning area by the County Executive Committee of Nairobi City County. The following issues are brought forth for consideration by this House. Number one, Honorable Speaker, lack of adequate notice and or public participation. The public notice for the declaration of the Nairobi River Corridor as a special planning area by the CEC, Nairobi City County, dated 6th March 2025, was communicated to the community representatives after the expiry of the 14-day notice period. Consequently, the community was unable to submit their opinions and memoranda on this matter. The reasons for the delay can only be known to the local leadership, including the local chiefs and other leaders. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, unfair eviction criteria and intimidation. The planning and eviction process for those affected along the Nairobi River Corridor has been marked by intimidation. Despite several attempts to engage the county and national governments, no improvement has been made to ensure a fair process. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, lack of representation in decision making. The community residents have not been adequately represented in the decision-making processes regarding the planning and eviction exercises. Public participation has not been conducted in any meaningful or inclusive manner. Fourth, unresolved compensation issues. Residents who were evicted during an early eviction phase last year from the alleged riparian and land remain uncompensated. To date, no clear communication has been made concerning their fate or any compensation plans. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, a lack of commitment to compensate affected persons. There is a notice by the county government of Nairobi dated 6th March 2025 did not outline any commitment or plan by the government to compensate those who will be affected by the impending eviction. Many of these residents are structure owners who resided in the area their entire lives and have no other place to call home. That whereas we, the undersigned, have pursued all possible means of resolution, including seeking audience with the governor, Nairobi City County, the county executive responsible, and the county assembly of Nairobi, all these efforts have been in vain. We therefore have been left with no option but to petition the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. We also confirm that this issue is not pending anywhere in any court of law or constitutional or legal body in the country. And whereas we, the undersigned, on behalf of Korogosho community affected by the evictions, however, that number one, the Senate of the Republic of Kenya has the power and authority as well as the moral obligation to step in and save the poor residents of Korogosho from inhuman evictions without compensation. Number two, the Nairobi City County and the national government have shown unwillingness to listen to the grievances of the residents. Therefore, we, the undersigned, humbly humble petitioners pray that the Senate inquires into the matter and makes recommendations as follows. Number one, on compensation to those already evicted and those who will be affected by future evictions, while ensuring that any evictions are humane in nature. And secondly, on public participation necessary as required by the Constitution, and that community representatives are included in all decision-making processes involving the Nairobi River corridor. We humbly submit this petition for your consideration and appropriate action. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Pursuant to Standing Order 238-1, I commit the petition the petition that has just been read out by Senator for Nairobi to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources. Now, in terms of Standing Order 238-2A, the committee's required in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer, which is today, to table its report in the Senate for consideration. The Senate thereafter shall consider and adopt the report of the committee. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate. Today, Wednesday, the 16th of April, 2025. These are the Sustainable Waste Management Extended Producer Responsibility Amendment number 2 Regulations, Legal Notice number 62 of 2025. The Environment Management and Coordination Water Quality Amendment number 2 Regulations, Legal Notice number 63 of 2025. The Environment Management and Coordination Waste Management Amendment number 2 Regulations, Legal Notice number 64 of 2025. The Environment Management and Coordinating Sand Harvesting Amendment number 2 Regulations, Legal Notice number 65 of 2025. The Environment Management Coordination Air Quality Amendment number 2 Regulations, Legal Notice number 66 of 2025. The Environment Management and Coordination Deposit Bonds Amendment Regulation, Legal Notice number 67 of 2025. The number 7, the Environment Management and Coordination, Access to Biological Resources and Benefits Sharing. Number number 2, Regulations, Legal Notice number 68. The Digital Health Information Management Procedures Regulations, Legal Notice number 76 of 2025. The Digital Health Data Exchange Component Regulations, Legal Notice number 77 of 2025. Finally, the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 52-1. Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My statement is on transition of leadership in the Kenya Women Senators Association, KEWASA. Mr. Speaker, sir, we, Senator Hamida Kibwana and Senator Maureen Tabitha Mutinda, the former chairperson and vice chairperson of the Kenya Women Senators Association, KEWASA, rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on the transition of leadership with KEWASA and to formally acknowledge the election of a new leadership team. We begin by expressing our heartfelt congratulations to the new elected chairperson, Senator Veronica Maina, and the vice chairperson, Senator Hezena Lemaletian, and the entire new leadership team of KEWASA. Their election is a testament of the confidence their peers have in the capacity to steer the critical association forward. Mr. Speaker, sir, as the outgoing leadership of KEWASA, it has been our singular honor and privilege to lead KEWASA during a season of purpose engagement, bold advocacy, and impactful service. During our tenure, we championed initiatives that placed the lead realities of women and girls at the heart of our legislative and policy agenda. Under our leadership, KEWOSA undertook several key initiatives and achieved significant milestones, including launched a program to support women petty offenders, many of whom were held in remand facilities simply because they could not afford bail to fines. Through partnership with civil society and legal aid providers, we helped secure and release and reintegrate of these women back into society with dignity. Mentored and worked alongside women leaders, but particularly women members of county assemblies, MCAs, through leadership development forums and capacity building engagements to strengthen their leadership, oversight, and representation roles of the county level. Allocations ensuring that the voices of women, especially those at the grassroots who are considered in national debates around health, economic empowerment, and social justice. Build strong partnership.
Senator for Makueni and the Senator for Kilifi, please take your seat and let the Honorable Senator Amida be heard in silence.
Build strong thank you, Mr. Speaker. Build strong partnerships with local and international institutions, including the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, ASEPA, the International Research and Exchange Boards, IREX, and Center of Multi-Party Democracy, CMD, and the Kenya Red Cross, as with Tetra Tech International Development and the Royal United Services Institute for Defense and Security Studies through the Reducing Insecurity and Violence Extremism in the Northern and Coastal Regions of Kenya program. Mr. Speaker, KEWOSA has established bilateral relations with parliaments and institutions in various countries, among them the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, Qatar, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Azerbaijan. These nations have expressed willingness to support KEWOSA in achieving its core objectives and in mobilizing resources for women leaders intending to vie for elections posts. Additionally, KEWOSA has forged strategic partnerships with organizations such as Eco Network Africa, which implements targeted interventions to support girls and women with a special focus on young women, women with disabilities, and those from marginalized communities. Mr. Speaker, these collaborations have been instrumental in expanding the reach and impact of KEWOSA's programs and in enhancing gender responsive governance across the country. They have also enabled KEWOSA to implement impactful capacity building programs, community outreach initiatives, and cross-sectoral dialogues aimed at advancing gender equity and inclusive governance. Mr. Speaker, while we now serve in the capacities of Chairperson Emeritus and the Vice Chairperson Emeritus, our commitment to the ideals and aspirations of KEWOSA remain steadfast. We pledge to support KEWOSA's new leadership and to continue championing the cause of gender equality, women's empowerment, and inclusive governance. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The second statement under that particular standing order is by Senator Mohammed Chute. Which statement is hereby dropped pursuant to a request by the said senator to have the statement dropped. Before I call the statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, allow me to make the following communication. I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and pupils from PCA, Emmanuel Child Development Center, Kibra, in Nairobi County. The delegation comprises two teachers and 43 pupils who are in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Now, honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving welcoming guests to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate, on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. will call upon the Senator for Nairobi County and a 1 minute to extend a word of welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the House as well, let me take this opportunity to welcome the students from PCA Emmanuel Church in Kibra. This is an institution, Honorable Speaker, that has almost close to 300 students aged between 3 years and 22 years. And the center works in collaboration with an organization known as Compassion International to try and impart skills and develop talents of these young kids so that they're able to be pulled from their extreme levels of poverty that is very prevalent in that area. So we are hoping that they will have opportunity to interact with members of parliament. As their senator, I'm available for them and to follow debate. I'm sure they have followed some of the things that have already been presented here. We want to tell you that it doesn't matter what your background is. You work hard in school and you will find yourself one day being the senator of Nairobi, standing here and representing the great county of Nairobi. So I wish them all the best in their tour, and we hope to see you out there after you're done with your tour. And if there's any other senator that you would want me to bring along, just let me know. I know the senators from Alliance are not the best role models in this house, but if there is anyone from from anywhere else that you want to meet, you can let me know and I'll make arrangements. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, Senator for Samburu County, Honorable Dr. Lelegwe.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance, Budget, and on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the status of projects funded through Equalization Fund disbursed during financial year 2023-2024 in Samburu County. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, the list of all projects funded through the Equalization Fund in Samburu County in financial year 2023-2024, indicating their respective budget allocations and implementation timelines. Two, the criteria used in identifying and selecting the projects and whether public participation was conducted pursuant to Article 232(1)(d) of the Constitution, including details of the participation exercises held and stakeholder involvement. Three, the current implementation status of each project, including percentage of completion, delays encountered, and specific challenges affecting execution. Along with mitigation measures being undertaken. And four, the disbursement structure of the funds, including the trenches released, any delays experienced, reasons for such delays, and the steps being taken to fast track the disbursement and ensure an interrupted project implementation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator S.C. Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a statement on the establishment of shelters and safe spaces for homeless children and vulnerable mothers. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the establishment of shelters and safe spaces for homeless children and vulnerable mothers in major cities and urban centers across Kenya. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, whether the national government in collaboration with county governments has established well-equipped shelter and spaces in major cities and urban centers to provide temporary and transition housing for homeless children and vulnerable mothers. Two, whether the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection has developed and implemented in partnership with the relevant stakeholders a comprehensive national policy framework for rehabilitation, reintegration, and empowerment of homeless children and vulnerable mothers. Three, whether county governments through their social welfare and child protection departments have identified rescue and holistic support services, including counseling, education, vocational training, and healthcare to street children and vulnerable mothers. Four, the adequacy of budgetary allocations made for the construction, staffing and maintenance of these shelters to ensure sustainability and efficiency in service delivery. Five, whether a multi-agency approach exists to enhance collaboration between government agencies, civil society organizations, and development partners to strengthen interventions aimed at addressing the root causes of homelessness among children and mothers, and to facilitate their social and economic reintegration. Senator Okenyuri, MP. Thank you.
The Senator for Wajir County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transport, Housing, on matter of concern regarding the commercialization and accessibility by the public of Wajir Airport. Honorable Speaker, although Wajir Airport is designated for civilian use, it continues to operate primarily as a military base under strict control of the Kenya Defence Force, KDF. As a result, the general public encounters significant challenges in accessing the facility with restrictions that has severely limited the airport's potential to serve as commercial hub for northern Kenya. The commercialization of Wajir Airport is vital for the economic growth of both Wajir and the wider northern Kenya airport. Honorable Speaker, Wajir Airport receives every day 2 or 3 passenger flights and several flights at transit from Somalia, those, especially those that carry Mira to Somalia. However, the continued military-centric management of the airport has become a bottleneck that demands urgent attention. Honorable Speaker, in the statement, the committee shall address the following: reasons why Wajir Airport remains under full military control. Despite ongoing efforts to commercialize, thereby limiting civilian access to the service. Why the Kenya Airport Authority, KAA, does not have full operational control over the facility, particularly with regard to the management of passenger entry and exits, and why essential civilian infrastructures, such as public transport within and around the airport, is severely hampered. Reasons for reliance on a single bus operated by KAA for transporting passengers to and from the airport, a service that is grossly inadequate given the volume of users as a public vehicles are prohibited from dropping off or picking up passengers at the airport, restricting that often leaves travel was stranded. Plans by the government to construct a civilian entrance, terminals and aprons, independent from areas managed by the KDF in order to ease passenger movement and improve public accessibility. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Tabitha Mtinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Committee of Trade, Industrialization and Tourism on a matter of national concern regarding the financial crisis of Metropolitan National Circle Limited. Mr. Speaker, the financial crisis at the circle, which has been declared technically insolvent by the Commissioner for Cooperatives, has left over 75,000 members unable to access their hard-earned cash and savings. Mr. Speaker, this situation has been attributed to massive embezzlement and financial mismanagement at the circle, including irregular lendings, fictitious dividend payments and fraudulent loan disbursements to non-existent members. In this regard, I do request the committee to address the following. One, the current financial status of Metropolitan National Circle Limited. Two, the annual audits on the financial statements of the circle for the year 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, including 2024. And include the actions taken to address any advance opinions or audit queries that had been raised earlier. Number 3, the recovery plan in place for the SACCO, including plans underway to ensure that members are able to access their savings. And their benefits. To identify the identities of persons involved in the embezzlement and financial mismanagement at the SACCO, including the actions that have been taken to ensure that they are held accountable. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, whether the SACCO Society's regulatory authority, that is played its role in ensuring compliance with established policies as well as the proposed reforms to strengthen financial oversight mechanisms for SACCOs so as to prevent similar instances in the future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator from Trans Nzoia County, the Honorable Alan Chesang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the operationalization of the Nawiri Fund by the Trans Nzoia County, government. In the statement, the committee should address the following: 1, the details of the operationalization of the Nawiri Fund, including the legal framework establishing it, regulatory compliance, its mandate and objectives. objectives, including whether public participation was conducted prior to its establishment, pursuant to Article 232(1)(d) of the Constitution. Number two, the target beneficiaries and the criteria used in selecting the beneficiaries and the priority areas considered in the disbursement of the funds. And finally, number three, the amounts of money disbursed so far and the scheduled of the funds, indicating a list of all those who have benefited and the wards where the said beneficiaries rise in. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Senator for Kirinyaga County, the Honorable James Mrango. What's the issue, Senator Fernandi? Can you state your position, please?
Mr. Speaker, Senator Murango had requested me to read on his behalf.
Do you have any written authority in that regard?
No.
Then that statement
Senator Kinyua was a witness.
that statement is dropped. The Senator for Nandi County, Senator Chirange, you may proceed to read your statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for statement on contracting of private law firms by the county government of Nandi. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the contracting of private law firms to represent the county government of Nandi in court cases and in other legal proceedings. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, the number and identities of all private law firms contracted to represent the county government of Nandi in court cases and in all other legal proceedings since September 2022, including the status of the respective cases and the amount of money paid to the concerned law firms in each case. Number two, Mr. Speaker, sir, the processes followed by the county government of Nandi in contracting the law firms, including details in all the law firms that submitted bids in each case. The respective bids and the winning bids, Mr. Speaker, sir. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the number of court cases and other legal proceedings handled by the Office of the County Attorney in Nandi County since September 2022 on the appointment and the justification for contracting private law firms to handle cases that could otherwise be handled by the Office of the County Attorney. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Raphael Chemero.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment, and Natural Resources on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the delays in the processing of certificates of titles in land registries across the country. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, reasons for the current delays in the processing of land titles at the land registries country.
wide. Number two, shortage of necessary documents required for the processing of certificates of titles or title deeds. Number three, Mr. Speaker, measures being implemented by the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and urban development to resolve this issue, along with the timelines for restoring normal operations in land registries. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Kisumu County, the Honorable Professor Tom Ojenda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have two statements this afternoon. The first statement is on the state of sanitation in the rural areas of Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to make a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the state of sanitation in the rural areas of Kisumu County. Mr. Speaker, access to improved sanitation facilities remains a significant challenge in Kisumu County and across the country, particularly in rural areas. According to a study published in the United States of America National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, 50.8% of rural populations in Kenya use an improved sanitation, and another 13.9% practice open defecation. This situation poses serious health risks and requires urgent attention. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, I request the committee to address the following: the type and condition of sanitation facilities used by households in the rural areas of Kenya, with a focus of Kisumu County, including the level of household access to improved sanitation facilities. Two, the steps being taken by the county government of Kisumu to improve sanitation infrastructure and services in the rural areas of Kisumu Kisumu County. 3, strategies put in place to enhance participation of local communities in planning and maintaining sanitation facilities and to ensure sustainability. And lastly, the budgetary allocation for sanitation projects in Kisumu County in the years 2024-2025, including whether allocation is adequate to address the existing challenges, particularly in the rural areas. Mr. Speaker, my second statement is on the pollution of Lake Victoria. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of inter-county concern regarding the pollution of Lake Victoria and the associated health risks. Mr. Speaker, Lake Victoria is a crucial resource for millions of people. In and out of Kenya, and is facing severe pollution from untreated sewage, industrial effluents, agricultural runoff, and plastic waste. This contamination of the lake poses significant and environmental and health risks. In this statement, Mr. Speaker, I request the committee to address the following. 1, the pollution levels in Lake Victoria. And the health risks associated with it. 2, the measures put in place to restore the lake and prevent further pollution, including the steps being taken to hold the pollution. Polluters accountable. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, I will allow comments for not more than 15 minutes. And therefore, if you get an opportunity to speak, kindly keep it under 3 minutes. The Senate Majority. Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have a quick comment on this statement by Senator for Trans Nzoia. I feel that as a House, Mr. Speaker, and perhaps a committee that will handle this matter needs to lead this House into making a decision on the number of funds a county government can create. There are counties that up to now, Mr. Speaker, have more than 100 funds or even 200, all in separate different bank accounts, that it makes it even practically impossible, Mr. Speaker, to keep tabs of what each of these funds is doing. And as a House, we must make a decision, Mr. Speaker, that just
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the statement by the Senator of Kisumu, Senator Professor Tom Ojenda, on the pollution of Lake Victoria. Honorable Speaker, sometimes back, a research was done by the Germans a German organization. And from the findings of that research, somebody said that Lake Victoria could be the largest pit that we have around. And Honorable Speaker, that is not very healthy for all of us that have depended on Lake Victoria, either for food, for their livelihoods, for all the activities of their life. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this statement addresses the pollution in Lake Victoria and the health risks that are associated with it. Honorable Speaker, where I come from, Homa Bay County, which is part of that lake, a number of our people suffer from waterborne diseases, and it is largely attributed to the pollution of this lake. Honorable Speaker, a number of people even use the lake as their to dispose of their waste. And these are sewage, and this must be looked into. Sometimes, Honorable Speaker, we think most of the health facilities around the lake Victoria region. And Honorable Speaker, there have been such allegations that all their waste go to this lake. But Honorable Speaker, it is a real disaster. It's an environmental problem for the people that live around the lake. Honorable Speaker, my tribe The Luo basically are people who feed on fish, Honorable Speaker, and we are beginning to think, and I think rightly so, that the fish that are feeding on may not be very healthy. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this statement and measures must be put in place to restore the lake, not only for transport, but for food and for all the environmental issues. Honorable Speaker, I speak as a concerned habitat of the Lake Victoria, the Lake Victoria, and I cry for our people and all that Senator Agenda has raised in the statement must be looked into, not only for the people of Kisumu, Migori, Homa Bay, Siaya, and Busia, but a number of people consume products that come from the lake. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Senator John.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity, and I rise to support the statement by Senator Esio Kenyuri on homeless persons. Mr. Speaker, we have had problems, and these are very old problems. Mr. Speaker, there have been attempts to see to it that homeless people, especially in urban centers, are set. Although there has been some resistance, Mr. Speaker, but one concern that I have heard from the reading of the statement by Senator Esio Kenyuri, Mr. Speaker, is that she kept talking about homeless children and vulnerable mothers. Just to say that we should also think about vulnerable fathers, Mr. Speaker, because they are also vulnerable fathers. So, Mr. Speaker, I think as the committee that will handle this matter, does it, I think they should also think and make recommendations about vulnerable fathers and homeless fathers, Mr. Speaker. And this also brings to question, Mr. Speaker, the issue of affordable housing. That, Mr. Speaker, where the government has entered into a program of affordable housing. But we question, Mr. Speaker, how homeless people can be able to benefit from this program, because these houses are actually, or when complete, will be sold to people. They will not be given for free. So, Mr. Speaker, then the question becomes, what happens? How